deeply from different perspectives. So I think you guys would really connect really well on that because Cody's in that space and doing some cool stuff, and Charlie's really deep in it. He's got some cool insight on it. Charlie actually designed a virtual reality astrology game in VR, an astrology game. It's really cool, like in virtual reality.
I want to play that.
Yeah, well, we'll have to set it up when we do the physical Cosmic Lab, you know?
Yeah.
Who else we got? So we got Samir, we got Mick. I want to also introduce you guys Mick really quickly. Mick is also a part of our Trinity that we came together to come up with this idea and create the momentum forward. And Mick has a really cool background too, because Mick has a education background, but also a deep art education background. So he teaches art. I actually met him at like was it a TED Talks or something? Or like
cross campus. It was Mind. What is it? Mindshare.
Mindshare. So when we met, he was showcasing his stuff at UCLA, his art, and he like showcases. He does really cool art with biology and science. So like really mixing science and art. And Mick is also like a Kundalini teacher. He does a lot of volunteering in the community, bringing meditation and breath work to inner city kids and disadvantaged youth. I mean, he's a really cool cat, and his wife is. They're looking at like doing something in Mexico City and building something in Mexico City sometime in the future, which will be fun to do some stuff in Latin for us to do some of these things in Spanish in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Cody, is your thing working or not? No?
Can you try without the headphones?
Try it without the headphones, yeah. Like unplug them.
Oh.
Oh, there you go. Yeah?
Yeah?
We can hear you. Hey!
Hey.
There we go.
All right, awesome. Okay, so hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna pull this out. Hold on. Okay, so let's get started, guys. How exciting! I wanted to quickly do a quick meditation with y'all before we even do anything. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like I'm the only one that's walking around. So you guys all can I guess you all can close your eyes, wherever you're at, if you're comfortable. Close your eyes. And just start to take a couple of long, deep breaths. Long, deep breaths. And bring your attention and your focus right between your eyes. I guess we call it the third eye. So just bring your attention there. And long, deep breaths. Just really connect with that third eye. Maybe you could feel it pulsating. Or maybe you just sense it between your eyes. Or maybe it's glowing. Whatever it is, just start to notice it. And then what I'm going to ask you now is to kind of stretch your imagination a little bit in this space. So let's start to stretch the imagination to right now. So like kind of like the nowish time. And let's try to create with our mind's eye, what is the best version of now for us? Maybe in the next few days, maybe in the next week. What is the best now? What does that look like for you? What does it look like for your kids, for your family, for your brothers and sisters, your colleagues? Visualize it like you're watching a movie. So just while you're breathing, let it move like a movie. You're the director of your movie. So see those things that you want to have happen. Visualize them like they're happening already. And then let's stretch it a little bit. Let's stretch it further. Let's stretch it into thinking about maybe Cosmic Lab, or maybe other ideas you're working on, or maybe other ideas for our community, our culture, our society. Maybe you're seeing how our culture and our communities can be better and work better. So see those things, just check them out, play with it in your consciousness. Keep breathing, keep meditating, but visualize too. And then let's stretch it even further. Maybe let's stretch it further, maybe a few years from now. Where are you living? What's going on? What's your community like? Who's your tribe? How's the world? Feel those things. Maybe it feels good. It might give you a smile. You might feel good about it. Maybe it's that vision is amazing and it's something worth thinking about and putting your mind towards. So you like it. And sit in that, sit in all that whole mix of those thoughts from present to that moment years from now. And move through all of them. And maybe some of those things we'll be talking about today, but sit with those things and take your time as you continue to breathe to slowly come back into the present moment to right now around 6-ish p.m. PST on planet Earth. And remember that all of that access, everything that you saw, as you open up your eyes slowly, think about that everything you just saw is a possibility. And together, when we see these things together, it's more of a possibility. So thank you guys for the journey. Thanks for entering the Cosmic Lab. We are starting something really amazing and interesting and crazy. We don't even know what's going to happen, but that's the best part, because we really want to create a place for play, and playfully learning, playfully evoking curiosity, playfully evoking the inner child in all of us. And so the first team, I want to just introduce you guys. We got Charlie and Mick. This wouldn't be possible without those two guys. Charlie and I go back. We like in the tech industry in LA, we've done a lot of cool stuff. Mick and I go back too because we're about the spiritual community and also the science and the education, like the practical, how do we bring this to schools? How do we bring it to children and teens and college students? I mean, how do we evoke it in an academic way? So Mick and Charlie are awesome. I would love Charlie and Mick for you guys to share a little bit about what's your intention with this? Like, what's your idea with I've already shared with other people, but what's your intention with Cosmic Lab?
Sure. The intention with Cosmic Lab was always about exploring information, exploring ideas and concepts that weren't mainstream. I've always been very much an explorer, both in psychology, the mind, but the emotions, the spirit, and the body. So what was really lacking is what I was noticing, just schools and just everywhere you went, just all this information is just not there for you to access. You have to go looking really deeply for all this information. So for Indy and I, what we talked about is really how do we change or even be able to provide this kind of information for, you know, meditation. But meditation should be like an everyday thing. You know, a lot of times we talk about this information as if it's like new to us, which to a lot of our generation is new, but it's very intuitive. And so I think what's happening is I want to push kind of the boundaries of what we know and take it further. So that's kind of the idea of the Cosmic Labyrinth, is how do we really push our minds, our spirit, and our ideas further, but as a collective, and with one, not with one purpose, but like with everyone kind of being able to work on different projects, but as a whole, it's helping humanity as a whole.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. I mean, for me, Indy and I, like, we met a while back in relationship to, like you said, kind of a more techie academic setting. And since then, I've gone through a lot of transformations personally as well. I mean, I've been on a path of really seeking truth and helping humanity through a creative, artistic path. But you know, I've really seen that there's a need for an integral approach where we're looking at how do we grow our own food, how do we make our own, you know, if we're doing creative work, how do we use things that are not damaging to the environment? How do we employ creative strategies in our lives so we don't think about being an artist as like this hierarchical thing where you get to be at the top and sell things to consumers. Instead, everybody's an artist. You know, this is like Joseph Beuys' idea back in the day in Germany, who started the Green Party. You know, so it's like this idea of really helping everybody in society find that creative spark and figure out how to best employ that creativity in their lives and let it really flourish and blossom and be generous in all ways possible. So that's a big part of what Cosmic Lab is for me. And it's community, you know, finding community of people that are sharing related visions and linking them all together and linking up to all those visions that existed thousands of years into the past and exist thousands of years into the future. Maybe those patterns already are out there, you know, so just kind of reinforcing all that. So
awesome. And then to add on there, Charlie, what's your spirit animal? Mick?
I'd
my
say
spirit.
I've had a wolf.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Okay. What about yours, Mick?
Mine is alternating between an owl and a hawk.
Owl and a hawk. Ooh, a hawk owl.
They're very similar. They're very similar animals. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pass the baton on to Cody, and I would love for Cody. Can you share like what's your intention with Cosmic Life, or what's your thoughts, and thoughts and intention with it, and then also what's your spirit animal?
So, hi everybody. Um, I've been trying to get something off the ground in downtown LA, and it finally started happening before all started happening. And it was a women's circle for, just free and open at right at LA Can. I'm sure some of you guys have been there. And it was on on Tuesdays. And I felt like I really wanted to access children. And so that's why initially when I saw that you were doing this, I really wanted to hop on board because my best friend actually lives on my property. Like we all rent properties all near each other, and the kids are going nuts. So they really need, we're going to do like a treasure hunt, and I actually got her, my friend's daughter, the deck that I'm going to be using as part of, I'm just going into it. Anyway, it's like a fairy deck, and it's really cute. It's really beautiful. It really resonates with me. I love it. I'm a child forever. And also I'm very, right now, I'm just doing a lot of writing and a lot of astrology charts and a lot of music. I make music and I make healing music, and I'm just so excited to help in any way I can. My future hope is that, all the bad guys get caught and we start a new life where everyone gets land and everything, that's of course, everything basically needs to be restructured. So that's my hope. And then anything I can do to accept, I understand that playing is a huge way to heal. So anything to do that. And my spirit animal is a hummingbird and a mama bear.
Yeah. A mama bear hummingbird? Whoa, that's cool.
I actually have a painting of all my spirit animals in my house. So.
Oh, cool. Let's share that.
Wow.
Anyway, so.
Thanks, Cody.
Yeah.
And Diana, will you take the next baton?
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks so much for having me here. So this concept is very new to me, and Cindy and I had a really great talk where I just shared a little bit about my background. But what resonates with me about this project is that I'm a mom. I have an 11-year-old, so working with and for the children is just so inspiring to me. I've never really had the time to work at my son's school doing volunteer work because I've been so busy. So working on a passion project that aligns my purpose and also is a way to connect with children is just really an amazing, I feel very called to it. I love the idea of bringing in the art of self-care and teaching both parents and children how to not only provide self-care, self-love techniques, but also bringing that into the household so that, kids are sharing that with their parents just as much as the parents are sharing it with their kids, incorporating essential oils, slime, sounds, nutrition, very kind of, I have this approach of the wheel of life, which essentially encompasses relationships, spirituality, fun, travel, finances. So taking all of these elements of the wheel of life and passing that on to children as well as parents so that they're able to gauge how to have balance in all of these areas in their lives, and when to notice when there is an imbalance and when to kind of put certain things on the back burner and focus attention onto other things just to overall create balance. Another thing I'm very passionate about is the concept of bringing sex and relationship education into schools and into children and young adults, teens, just having something that is introduced incrementally, that's age appropriate, that teaches from a very young, preschool to kindergarten age of good touch, bad touch, who to talk to, feeling safe to talk about these things, which would in turn decrease the instances of abuse, sexual abuse in the households, integrating it, incrementally, first grade, second grade, all the way into high school, just in little bits so that it becomes more of a normalized topic, so that it's not so awkward for kids to talk about with their parents, so that they're able to ask really important questions. And so they're not relying on outside sources that are maybe guiding them in the wrong direction. So with that overall approach, it's learning how to understand how to express boundaries, what some basic boundaries are, that it's okay to have boundaries. Also releasing shame and fear around pleasure so that there isn't this weird, uncomfortable feeling around, hey, we have these bodies and this feels good, but really acknowledging that and introducing the concept of what is age appropriate and, what is consent. So I think with that, it would be a great opportunity to decrease the instances of sexual assault, rape, and really create an awareness and education so that, there isn't this shame or blame. So that's what I'm passionate about and what I'd love to
Cool.
explore with this. And I would say that my spirit animal is the snake.
Snake. Ooh, so snaky. Why are you so serious? So I love that. Both Cody, it's funny, Cody and Diana, you guys both shared what your intentions are, what you would like to share. And it's funny because I see a lot of synergy between talking about mythology and fairies and that kind of idea and mixing that into sensuality, like how mythology and sensuality go together and how those can be really, there's a lot of integration of all these ideas that we're going to be talking about and sharing with Cosmic Lab, and there's going to be opportunities to collaborate. And I think there's a lot of spaces we can explore to make things more digestible and fun and interesting for kids too, so they can learn through stories. Anyways, thank you guys. We got some new people too, which is awesome, but let's continue the flow. We got Samira, I can say Miss Sparks, I want to say. What's that, Miss Sparks?
Spark.
So
Hi.
please, will you share?
Sure. Can you guys hear me okay? Because my mic was acting out the other day.
It sounds good.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, for me, I have a background in social work, so I've worked with kids, and I have just always been good with young children. So probably because I helped raise my younger siblings, but it's interesting because when this came up, I was like, Eureka, because it's I had already had these visions, and I was working on a women's center where women can come and Cody, you said you do women's circles, so I do that too, new moon circles, and I thought we can have little fairy classes for children on the weekend and teach them about tarot and stuff like that, So this came up, and it was so in alignment with the vision that I'd had for a few years that of course I was gonna jump on it, And I think that the opportunity is here for us to create this space for kids to learn about all the things you're offering with mythology.
Samira, we're everyone's so distracted by a snake. Everybody's so distracted by a snake on the screen. Literally, there's a snake robbing our attention. Stealing our attention. Look at that thing.
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
Oh, you
Wait,
might
with
have
us.
to flip over because there's
Go to
some
gallery view.
Go to gallery.
I don't see it. That's so weird.
a little.
It's on Dasha's feed. Oh my God, cool. So beautiful. But yes, please, Samira, continue. That was why you're.
This is perfect, and it's very much needed. So I'm so grateful to be part of it, and I see great things, evolving as a result of it. So yeah.
What's your spirit animal?
Oh yeah, my spirit animal it goes back between wolf and dolphin mostly. So
Wolf.
I think
Wolf.
it's a wolf right now.
A wolfin? I love those. That's kind of cool. It jumps out of the water and then it howls. It jumps out, oh, and it goes back in the water. I can see that. Awesome. All right. So, and then next we got Dasha, And Dasha, will you share? We can't hear you. Oh, there he goes. Hi. So Dasha, will you share what are your intentions with
Yeah.
what are your ideas about Cosmic Lab? Like what can you offer? What are your ideas with it? And then also what's your spirit animal?
Awesome. Well, I think the spirit animal kind of speaks for itself. My spirit animal is Mother Ayahuasca, and I have found a way to heal myself from having a relationship with my mom that wasn't what I wanted, let's just say it that way, growing up. So I have healed my childhood wounds, and I wrote about it for 4.5 years through my book, The Girl with the Buddha Tattoo. So I know exactly what kids are going through when parents pressure them with their limiting beliefs, with the fears, with the scarcity and lack, and that pressure to be all these things that the parents are afraid that if they're not, then they're never going to make it in life. So I know where they're coming from, and I can give them tools to help them realize that that's not the only way to live. And just like what Diana, hopefully I'm saying it right. I do the same thing with adults, that I have like, what's your vision in the middle, and then I created the 7 F's. Everything is connected in life, fitness / food, financial, family, friends, fun, freedom, and feelings. So I created those 7 F's. And it's like, when you get into alignment with all of them, then your vision comes true. And the vision can be anything big or small. And the finances part, since it's kids, we can give them like, I'm so happy and grateful that my parents are feeling abundance. I know that what they're saying about money, scarcity, and lack is just their belief. Like we can help retrain the brain of a child with these affirmations. I'm so happy and grateful that I have everything, and maybe I don't have what other kids have, but I have a lot. So I have this PDF. I'm sorry I didn't send it to you yet. I was working, but I'll send it. And basically just like help kids create visions and understand life from a young age, so they don't have to deal with it for so many years later.
Amazing. And I love that. Like I love how we're approaching all these super important things, and they're not just for kids. I mean, I think I need some of these things that you guys are talking about. So I think that's the thing, right? We're not just doing this for kids, we're doing it for all the confused adults as well.
I also have a children's book, The Diamond in the Heart, and it basically talks about what's most important. And it's like a little girl going into a forest that's really scary, and then she battles all of these crazy animals, which is characters of different people, and anger and all these things, and how she combats them with love, and how with compassion and slowing everything down.
So to give you guys an idea, one of the things Charlie and Mick and I have been talking about in the future of the Cosmic Lab is that we create games that are teaching stories, like using mythology, like your story, turning it into like a video game that people can play on their phone or on eventually, who knows, PlayStation, whatever. We could create content that's related to mystery school information and self-care and mythology, right? To help people and help kids.
But what I noticed, one thing that I noticed when I was in Israel and actually wrote this book, because I wrote it with my 9 and 13-year-old, is that when I gave them a purpose to work towards something like this book, they started holding me accountable. And it's like they became so passionate about this book, like more passionate than me. They were like, Dasha, where are you? Like, we're here to work on the book. And I was like, whoa, like this 9 and 13-year-old have now a purpose, and they're so excited about something. And we became an accountability group, and they were just so passionate about it. So giving the kids something to be passionate about just like, makes them want to live and be excited about things.
Amazing. Dasha, thank you. All right, so we got Jenny on the line.
Hi,
Jenny,
guys.
what's up?
Hey,
Welcome.
everyone.
Hello.
Wow, I'm so glad that I hopped on this call because I feel so much synchronicity already with the call. Samira, spirit animal, same. I'm a dolphin too. And Diana, what you were talking about, addressing and bringing awareness to good touch, bad touch, these things with children from an earlier age. If we had these tools, it would have saved us 20 years of holding heavy bullshit. Like I literally had a release today after 20 years. And what I can offer is a way to transmute that release. And how I've been doing that is through movement and dance and obviously breath work and contemplating and everything else that comes along with it. But I know, like, growing up, movement was a big part of my expression and my creation as well as my release. So I don't know, I just love to dance and have fun, and I want kids to know that dance doesn't have to be choreographed. It can be whatever your body intuitively tells you to do in each given moment. And again, we're going to incorporate breath with that and tapping into our intuition. And the thing with movement is, once you like release everything out, you're so open, you allow your channel to like take in that fresh new energy. And that's what we want. We want the next generation to always be freshly energized, you know? So yeah. Oh, I can't hear anything.
Oh, there we go. There we go. We're missing a few people, but you know, we'll get that going. I'm really glad that we all connected and shared a little bit about, you know, what we're gonna share. I just put something in the chat right now. That's a schedule. Yay, we got like a schedule. So looks like everybody's on there for the most part. If you have any questions about that, let me know. What we're gonna be doing is like baton style. So like Charlie, we're gonna be holding, like somebody's gonna be holding the baton, and one person's gonna be holding, like it's probably gonna be me or Charlie or Mick, and we're gonna be holding the baton. And when you guys hop on the Zoom call, that Zoom call is gonna be going on all day. So then when you hop on the Zoom call, we're gonna hand you the mic, and you're gonna take control of the classroom, right? We're thinking about having it be muting everybody, and you just like presenting. Um, but we want to get your feedback. Like, what do you guys think about opening it up? There's some challenges with that. Like, who's gonna be like on? You know, can we mitigate their volume if it's kids? Like, I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts about that? Charlie, anything?
I think it's gonna be hard if we try to have everybody talk to us. I think it should be more of a free flow for, I think, everyone who's presenting, and then probably towards the end open it up for conversations and questions. But I think we should allow everybody to present like a free flow for like at least 30 minutes of like information. But I think the first 5-10 minutes we can have a conversation with everybody to at least introduce where we're going with this, because a lot of times information we're bringing up may not be new to a lot of people. So we want to make sure that we're like introducing them to the idea of what we're trying to bring with each of the, and you know, each of the teachers, instructors that are coming in. But I think at least giving us a flow for like 30 to 40 minutes and then opening up to questions at the end.
Yeah. Any questions?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm seeing, so this is a long event. This is something where I'd be like, oh, I am so interested in all of these things. I know there's more flexibility because people are at home, but I don't see any breaks in between. And I'm wondering, and I just wanted to offer the suggestion, if there's going to be maybe like a lunch break. I don't know if it's designed this way because it's from home, but from kind of like the user perspective, I'm looking, and if I were to be sitting down at my computer for this long, I would want to have like some kind of break to just to have like to break it up, because it's a 10-hour day, or maybe like a 1 hour break and then like 15 minutes in between. Also for presenters too, but that's just from a more like a scheduling perspective, something I wanted to offer.
Yeah, big time. I mean, fortunately we put like only one little small break, the 12:30 to 1 kind of thing. At the same time, you know, like I've been going to a couple of these conferences, and I'll just eat during the talks and stuff, and that's been happening a lot. And at least from the first initial, this being like the first go at it, I don't think we're gonna have like be over flooded with people. You know, we haven't like we're gonna be taking a lot of stuff that we do from this to market for the next ones, so we can get more people and create more momentum. Because we're gonna do it every 2 weeks. So, you know, as we continue to do it, and I think the next one we do is probably not going to be this long. We're going to do a much shorter, do more curated stuff, and we're going to play. But this one, we just wanted to do something that kind of like just kind of broke it open, you know?
An opening festival or something, like an opening of, and also I wanted to say most kids will only be able to do like maybe 2, you know?
Yeah.
So a lot of people will be kind of like seeing the list and deciding what they want to do, right? Or, you know?
Okay.
So,
and then what's the date?
It's
What's the date?
The date of this event.
It's the 25th of April.
Thank you.
yeah.
Yep.
So the idea actually of this ceremony, the show will be, everything will be recorded, and the goal is to actually do a smaller 2-hour set once a week that introduces new teachers. And then what's going to happen is we're going to convert everything this Saturday to 1-hour clips. So then eventually the goal is to have everybody, like the three of us, we're planning to kind of be more hosting all these different teachers that come through. And eventually I'm going to give you guys a platform to introduce what you guys want to give to children and to the community as a whole. But it's really more of like a lobby. So this one time, it is going to be pretty long. It's a good way for us to also record a ton of content very quickly. Most people are, and we don't expect everybody to watch most of the time, so they'll pick and choose what they like. But the goal is that we say, hey, we'll be then publishing these on YouTube, and we'll have our own YouTube channel. So we can eventually say on Wednesday, we'll have a new class for 1 hour, do introduction. And then the following like weeks on a Friday, we can say, hey, we have these new teachers, and then we'll bring them in throughout the, so it's kind of like how you see like a talk show that brings in different guests. So we'll bring in a guest, introduce them, then have another guest, and eventually be like all of us right now sitting in a room talking about probably a theme that's happened in the last 2 weeks and the classes we've taught, you know? And so eventually what happens is people will stay tuned for the weekend wrap up for the people we've met. But eventually they'll be able to go check out like a 1-2 hour free introductory classes from you guys. And eventually, if they want to, they can then do a full paid for whatever. So we're giving you guys an opportunity to figure out what is it that you guys want to do as a teaching. You know, do we want to do a full, you know, we don't know if Zoom is going to be the only way we want to teach. We want to actually, I know some kids retaining their attention on a computer is very difficult. So eventually we want to have locations where we'll do, okay, we'll do like 4 hours at this location with these 3 teachers or 5 teachers. And then it's for us, it's really just to build traffic around giving everybody an opportunity to share. And then eventually we'll have like a list of classes that people can choose from. But the goal is all of you.
I've also started taking notes on creating like some sort of workbooks that we can offer too. That way we don't have to charge parents and people. We can make this accessible, and we can create other ways for us to, you know, to create income and pay for everything we're doing. We want to support you guys too. So when, you know, as soon as we can, we want to create some sort of funding scheme so that we can be sharing everything, you know, sharing the wealth.
Yeah. So the idea is really for us as a community to come together and share the traffic in the audience. And then from there, we can then say, hey, you know, this person is great at blah, blah, blah. And so we're actually also supporting each other, because I think a lot of us as people who like to help people, we don't like to talk about ourselves. I mean, it's not a very intuitive thing for us. We rather do the work and help people rather than go around telling people what we do. So in this way, we're allowing each other to talk about each other and really support what we're doing so that people can learn more about each other. Because right now, marketing is best done by hearing someone talk, right? No one wants to read a paragraph about your bio profile. We're now kind of gone into this whole, I need a video about somebody for like 2 seconds and that's good enough, you know? So we want to stay in that mode where we can even be able to put more of our energy in a video rather than like trying to create a bio with like this perfect picture of us that isn't representing who we are as a person. So that's kind of what we're trying to do with this community. Do you guys have any questions? Any ideas?
Thank you.
So do you guys also like, have you guys done things with kids, like would you need help with making your presentation on Zoom? Have you guys tried teaching stuff on Zoom? I mean, with the dancing, have you tried working and dancing and getting kids dancing?
So I've been doing ecstatic dance, not with children on Zoom, with women. I've taught English to Chinese students online, but it was an actual like program. I didn't do it on Zoom. No, not on Zoom.
Okay. So these are the things that we can also try to figure out to, you know, if we want to do these for as classes. But like I said, it could be just a great way for you to get like maybe some, ways for people to know about what you do, and then make them go, tell them, hey, I'm doing this once a week at this location. Then they'll be able to come and see more of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Indy, you're
Indy, you're muted. You're muted, Indy.
One of us will always be live with you guys. So if you need any support, anything's going on, technical support, we got you. Or if you need ideas, one of the things that we're working on too is, getting some sort of cool like classroom kind of thing too. We don't need it yet, but we want to create like that kind of thing too that we offer, so that we could be like drawing and doing stuff. Because I think Mick is teaching a painting class, an art class, right?
Yeah, I'll be doing a mandala chanting and squiggling, and doing some mandalas and meditation, breath work.
So
Yeah.
it'd be cool if we get that live on the screen and we could save that stuff. So those are tools that we're going to have, but you guys don't have to worry about those yet. Right now, let's just create stuff. Like Samira, you're doing a mathematics class. It would just be interesting, either having a series of photos that you could share on your screen, that you already have them ready to go. And that would be super helpful. And they could, it'll pop up on their screens. Stuff like that. Whatever we can use to visual cues, content from like Wikipedia or the internet, just have that stuff saved to share from your screen. And I'll be around. You guys email me, call me, message me if you have any ideas and you want to talk about it and share and like, let's do this. I mean, we're really, at the end of the day, my background, I've been in education for the past 12 years. So creating curriculum, presenting it, working with kids like young, middle and older kids. So, I'm really good at creating curriculum and organizing it in a way that makes sense for the knowledge nodes. So if you guys need help with any of that, let me know. Just reach out.
And I can help out with a lot of the artwork to digital artwork. I can help with presentation decks. It's what I did a lot for work is I made a lot of game presentation decks because I had to introduce a lot of game stuff. So I made keynotes and PowerPoints all the time. So if you guys need those, because they're really helpful in putting your information clearly.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That sounds really cool. Thanks.
Yeah, good people. And then how do you guys otherwise feel? Like, guys ready for this? You ready to rock and roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have like the format or the content. So I think for me next steps, and I have kind of a lot to work with. So I feel like I need to fine tune, get some ideas out so that it's more refined. And I feel like what the need for, I mean, like in the grand scheme, I really do think the good touch, bad touch is something like, it's very personally, like, I have trauma around that, and it's hard to even come up with it. And I was like, I've had this vision. I'm like, wouldn't it be great if this was being taught? And I'm like, oh my God, maybe I'm the one that's supposed to teach this. Holy crap. Like, how am I going to do this? Like, this is bringing so much up. Like, I'm turning red talking about it. So I think it's going to be very much a healing journey. I would like to write about it. And to answer your question, I don't feel quite prepared. I think it's like something that's formulating.
Don't worry, Diana, I don't know what I'm doing about most of the time. 99.9% of the time, I have no fucking clue what the fuck is going on. I'm just going with it.
Tomato, I literally like got red.
But I will say, by the way, I didn't mention, I don't think you mentioned, Diana, that she's studying somatic psychology, right?
So my program hasn't started yet. I started reading some of my books, but I'm studying to be a somatic sex and relationship coach, so it's not I wouldn't be a therapist. It's a lot faster, but it is a lot of psychology around relationships, attachment styles, and somatic therapy, essentially.
Yeah, so we can also allow this to, let's also not think that we have to be 100% perfect in our introduction of this information. I think the idea that it's a cosmic labyrinth is we're really exploring these topics for ourselves and for the people that come after us. This is the next generation that is getting prepped, and we're passing on what we've learned so that they can kind of have an edge for their generation, but we're still figuring out what is it that makes us come here, because a lot of us grew up with very traditional backgrounds. So here we are kind of like saying, I broke tradition but there's nothing for us now. So we're creating this community so that we can walk through with the parents. I think what's really interesting now with the parents and the kids at home is there's no common language anymore. You know, the kids are sent, you know, away in these boxes with other children to go and play and learn this generational language, you know, and every year we hear, oh, I don't understand the kids' language anymore, because they get herded into these locations to create their own new language. And here we are working all day long about these crazy 9-to-5 situation that doesn't really relate to any of our children. You know, so we come home and there's this miscommunication of what can we talk about, and spirituality is kind of missing too, because that's like, oh, we'll think about that only on Sundays. What? No, like, how do we make that a more common conversation for children and adults to talk all the time so that they have a common language? So we're hoping that a lot of these information will be like, yeah, you should be able to talk about relationship with your teachers, with your friends all the time, you know, whenever it's uncomfortable too, you know, and those things can be taught, and we can help kind of the community, you know, ask us like, hey, 500 teachers, or I mean parents ask for this. So then we should kind of go, okay, well, we'll spend a week or two trying to process this and get more information, and hopefully we'll have something that we can bring up to talk to as a community. But I think it's important that we don't, you know, we're still exploring a lot of these ideas with the children too, right? Because it's really important that we provide information for them, and not just kind of how what we grew up, which is people dumping information at us, telling us that they know what they're talking about. You know, here we're like, no, let's have people figure out what they want to really understand and learn. So that's why we want to be more of like, let's help each other out, right? So don't feel bad that you don't have anything, because I'm sure your topic is not an easy topic in general.
Right.
So as long as, you know, we were able to like, what would be the introduction of it, and how we have, and then keeping it open so that, you know, we are still figuring out as we go.
And you know what though, you have like that's one of the things about building a tribe like this. And you know, we're a cosmic tribe, so you have all these cool, just on this call right here, you know, and everybody's not even on this call that's going to be a part of the first Cosmic Live, and all these people on here, they're so different and diverse. And right here Diana, just in this group you have people you can talk to that can probably give you some great insight, you know, and into how to organize it. So like, that's what we want to build. We want to build a tribe and support each other, and so we can be the role models for the children, right? Like, if we are helping each other and we're supporting each other, then obviously the kids will look at us and be like, damn, they're so happy and flowing and awesome. Like, I want to be like this, you know? It'll be easy. We don't have to force anything. We just have to be ourselves.
Yeah, I'd love to connect outside. What's the best way to?
I'll loop everybody in. Your email's not looped in, but I'm going to email you into the group email.
Okay, great.
That I'll send after this. Yep.
Great.
And yeah, we'll probably do either weekly, bi-weekly for all of us to kind of gather and talk about what are some things we learned, we want to test out, some things that didn't work and we want to update. But yeah, everything will always be really moving and flowing as it needs to evolve for the community.
Yeah, and we're also looking to do some like kind of like talk show kind of interviews, all of you guys, in the next coming weeks. We're gonna sit down. Charlie and I are gonna sit down with you guys, maybe on a Zoom call, obviously, but we'll like do like a kind of an interview and talk to you guys and kind of get like a deeper perspective on you guys.
Do you have something to say? Yeah.
I was about to, but then I realized at between 4 and 5, there's already cosmic singing. I was gonna encourage having the children use their voices, because that's very important.
Yeah,
we already read your mind there. It's already there. We did it before. We like did it right there before.
Read the list properly, actually.
Yeah. I imagine that we're very much getting cosmic downloads, and we are kind of like the fingers, right, that are playing out what the cosmic mind is wanting. And so we are the fingers that are actually puppeteering the physical manifestation of these crazy ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be doing chanting with them while drawing too. So it's a class I've actually already taught on Zoom with kids at the other place I work, Paint Lab. You know, and just basically getting them to squiggle, like record the sound that they're making with mark making, and then see what things they find in all those squiggles. Basically like looking at clouds and discovering the worlds that emerge, you know, so yeah.
Oh, I wanted to add too, by the way, so this is obviously this is sensitive. I'm aware of this. I've worked with kids enough that like we're working with kids and parents. So right now would be a good time in the next few days. Now that you guys get that there's a flow here, I would recommend reaching out to your friends, neighbors, anybody that are parents. And what we need, the way that we're approaching this is getting their email, and we're sending a group email to all the parents with like a survey. And on that survey is going to be a list of all your guys' classes, and it's going to be like a schedule as well. And as well, there's going to be a waiver at the bottom being like, hey, like, I'm okay with like, like having my child come, and I'm also can join, like we also want the parents to join their kids. So like, yeah, I accept I could join my child, blah, blah, blah. And so that's all a part of that email package. So it would really help to get emails of parents that are going to have their kids. So you guys, if I'm like Cody, you were talking about your neighbors, like, so let's accrue these emails. That's gonna be the key, getting parents to actually understand the value and buy into this, or buy is probably not the right word, co-opt or co-adopt into this.
Our website actually does already capture emails if you want to also send them through our website right now so that it's easier. So then we'll digitize everything. And the goal is to make sure that we're always capturing people's information so we can gather traffic. Because really, it's really hard, as you guys know, to get people's attention through the process, right? They always love the idea, but whether they stick around for it and they show up is the hard part. So we want to make sure as a group, we're able to get people interested and to keep coming back. Because, it's going to be hard at first because we have to keep like reminding them about this brand new idea.
What is the typical age level that these courses are designed for?
I think we have to think more like how the idea of the how Disney and Pixar did it, where they actually take very big concepts and then they focus a lot more on the very easy concepts for children, but they can add some complexity for the adults, right? To make sure that but everything should be rated G right now for the youngest kids too, is, we all have to be very animated, right? To be able to express a lot of that energy. So we have to be very cautious. I mean, some of us are really good at that. Some of us probably need to do extra I know, Indy, you overdo, but we'll probably have to do extra to make sure that the little children are engaged. So I think in general, we'll have to make sure that, depending on who shows up too, because I'm sure the touch stuff, that's probably not going to get the younger kids right away, because I'm sure parents are not going to want that. But that's why we want to make sure that parents will feel comfortable with the discussion. So that's kind of why we'll have the right topic. But I think we should think most of the time very general, if that helps.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that perspective of Pixar and Disney. They're so smart in creating multi-level perspective so that's available for everybody, and we should approach it the same way.
Thank you.
Is there a way to highlight certain people without their microphone highlighting them on Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually.
Them.
Yeah,
you
there
can
you go.
pin them. Okay, perfect. Because I think that would be really cool and interactive to pin certain children while I'm doing the ecstatic dance party, because everybody likes to be seen, and it's so nice to shine a light on a beautiful little soul.
Yeah, if you go, like, you can even look at it right now. If you go to the corner of any of our little squares, and you should see 3 little dots, and if you click on that, you'll see pin video, and that's how you do it.
Will that pin it for the whole call though?
No.
No.
So yeah, they would have to do gallery mode. If we want to do that, it gets, I think, trickier. We have to figure out on our end, because I think I'm going to figure out Zoom a little bit better, because we'll have to also learn how to have just the teachers on and not also let everybody's mics on too, because that can get really crazy very fast. Because I've seen, it's a lot of managing. So we'll have to kind of figure that out if that's the case.
Well, you can do that on the participants area. You can actually mute all.
Designate. You could designate. Yeah, who's being shown.
Yeah. I just have to play around with that. We all have to figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna do some troubleshooting this week to make sure everything is copacetic.
Yeah, I believe that the host can mute all participants. Yeah, as long as. If you go to the participants view right by chat.
Soon. Okay.
And then there should be, it's not open to any of us, but whoever's hosting, you Charlie, you could probably mute us all with one button.
Yep, I see that. Okay.
So I wanted to also leave you guys with one last thing that when we're done with this call, I wanted to throw out there, what are some ideas and things you guys have to build our immune system? Do you guys have any ideas? Like how do we like, you know, how are you guys doing it? How are you building your immune system? How are you strengthening it?
So I actually just started working with an organic, non-GMO superfood company. So something that I'm doing is I'm gonna do one of our cleanses. It's a 30-day transformation, which is superfoods, chlorella, different detox herbs, but we also have food-based vitamin C that's supposed to be really good. I'm familiarizing with the product line, so I don't know exactly, but that's something that I'm starting to incorporate. And in specifically, you know, not just getting random vitamin C, which I just found out is like not the best or most potent, getting things that are ethically sourced that are actually going to make a difference. So there's that. I use essential oils as well. I use oils in a diffuser. There's a blend called On Guard. There's great, amazing clinical studies on it as well. So there's actually measurable results. So I'll use those lozenges as well. And then drinking like beet juice, starting the morning with like lemon water, extra hydration, extra rest as well. And then like detox baths, regular salt baths, just like getting my sweat on like almost every day. I mean, so far we've been good. We haven't had any colds or anything since all of this has happened in a while. And then just like decreasing stress as well. The minute that I feel any whisper of a sore throat, just like starting a regimen, whether it's like taking supplements or like I do like these little essential oil, I call them flu bombs, and it's like black pepper, frankincense, wild orange, and oregano, and I'll take that for 3 days, and that will wipe whatever symptoms I have out like immediately.
Dang, you're like doing like straight witchcraft over there. What's up with that? Some straight witchcraft going on here.
That too.
That's where it's at.
Anybody else got any cool like things they're doing?
This, and I guess right now what I've started, what's really different and it's challenging and it's amazing at the same time, and I know it works because my body starts moving by itself, and my breath, I'm not in control of it. It's like the body and breath is moving itself. And guess what it is?
What?
Cold showers.
Oh shit! No! No! No!
So worth it.
Yeah. That's very, very effective. Yeah.
I have one thing. My friend made me this periwinkle. Wait, oh wow, I'm so good at this. And I'm doing a lot of shadow work and shadow healing, and I feel like emotionally I'm just like taking so much off. Like every time I meditate, like I just meditate on just releasing all the guilt and all the shame and all the past. I feel like that's really increasing the energy. Yeah.
Did you say that's periwinkle? What is that?
Yeah, periwinkle.
Wow, I want to see what it looks like. Periwinkle. Interesting.
Yeah, it's just a flower essence. So, but yeah, it's actually supposed to help you dissolve and any patterns in your family that have been holding you back.
Ah. Whoa.
Wow, Cody's dropping like bombs in here. Amazing. I love it.
Charlie, can you pop up the periwinkle?
Yeah.
Are you able to screen share that?
Wow.
And anybody else, Samira?
Yeah, I've been really mindful about my stress levels, so I don't watch the news much. But I also have been doing a lot of guided meditations to manage my nervous system, just keep my nerves calm. calm, and that's been helping.
Yeah, I'm all about guided meditations. Yoga Nidra is so nice. I love Yoga Nidra. Yeah, Mick, you got anything?
Yeah, I've been doing, I Kundalini yoga every day in my practice, but I've been focusing on the Kriya for strengthening the aura, which is really good for your immune system. I mean, it's your electromagnetic field, right? And it's actually a really good workout too. It's a lot of pranayama. It's basically doing push-ups with one leg up while you're doing. It's like a push-up in downward dog, the first pose, with your leg up and one leg up in the air, and you switch legs. You do that for a minute and a half on both sides. It's pretty intense. Like you practically pass out after just that first pose in the Kriya. And then breathing, raising your hands with deep breath like this, and then opening your hands, inhaling deeply, opening up. So you're opening up your whole chest, all your, really getting your lungs clearing out as well through it. And those are all just 3 minutes. And it's just those three poses in the Kriya. And it's just like, that's amazing. It's pretty much like a full-on, you feel your whole aura expanding, like just the energy. Yeah, so it's amazing. And it seems to help with generally like wiping out any concerns, as well as creating a field of calmness around you, I guess is the best way to describe it. So
you actually like release and let all of what's no longer needed pour out, and then you feel that charge coming in right away. Do you ever like tingle after?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, many times.
Oh my gosh, I did the Kriya for releasing anger today. That's a really good one.
Oh yeah, that is a really good one. Yeah, when I was working in the inner city, I did that almost every week, because I would just like absorbing all the anger from the kids, and I was like, okay, I had to get it out of me, So yeah, it's a powerful one.
Yeah, these are things that are going to come in handy a lot when we start to do a lot of volunteer stuff, and we go into the inner cities and we offer these things to kids who may not even come across some of this stuff naturally. We're going to need to practice these kriyas. They're going to help us approach the places that are kind of scary to go, right, where the trauma is. Exactly. Anybody else? Charlie, you're freaking a master, right? You're like almost a master with like the blonde beard. You're gonna be like telling us all about pulling out your cards. What cards do we need right now, bro? What cards?
No, man, I'm Asian. This is all I got. You guys got this is all I got, guys. I've been working on this for a while. So I do a lot of Tai Chi in the morning, and then I drink a lot of water and lemon to kind of flush. So basically so in Chinese medicine, you have a water flowing on the outside of your body where your sweat is. And so pathogens come into that water layer first. And so as long as you're flushing your water system out every day, basically through sweat, you're actually flushing your first layer of basically energy. So I do that pretty often every day, because I have a Leo rising. That means during the sun time, my body feels the energy of the sun. So I come out during the sun time more. So that means that I automatically sweat everything inside of myself. So I have to then learn to generate energy rather than lose energy when I do that. Because like during the summer, I get really hot, but then I can burn out very quickly. So I have to kind of manage the water flow in my body. So that's the immune system. The immune system is really your lymphatic system. So I do flush just by doing Tai Chi every day.
Guess what flushes the immune system, the lymphatic system the best? Just take a guess.
Laughing.
I know so actually, when you laugh really loud and like with a lot of power, you actually squeeze your thoracic duct. And your thoracic duct is the biggest part of your lymphatic system. So you're like flushing, like squeezing your thoracic duct. So you're getting all these new white blood cells and getting rid of the old ones when you laugh. Like literally, they're like doing an exercise with your lymphatic system when you laugh.
I'm gonna try to add some laughing in my Tai Chi, okay?
Yeah. Hey, Dasha, did you want to add anything? I don't know. She's ghosting over there. I don't know if she's there. Dasha. Does your snake want to add anything? Maybe your snake has some immune. Snakes don't get sick, right? Don't they like? Aren't they like impervious to like viruses and stuff?
They can get sick.
Are you
Really?
sure? Can we check that? Because from what I remember, like because they don't for some reason like in their brain or something they don't like get. I don't know if it's
They
snakes
can
or
have respiratory issues, and then I don't know about I mean, oh, I have a
virus.
I was like reading about like snake issues today, so I didn't read specifically about if they have like
Because most viruses about to move through mammals. Like you hear about with like pigs and like right like rats and stuff. It has to be a mammal usually.
Oh, they have the avian viruses too.
Oh, the avian.
Bird
Well,
viruses.
yeah, so it's just your body's way of flushing toxins out. So snakes do it by shedding. So every animal actually has a system of flushing their bodies. The virus is actually a body mechanics actually forces the body to flush toxins. So say, avian flu is because, avians have to flush toxins too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's that process that they can then jump and hop. So that's why it's, well, we won't get into the science of that, but yeah, just a mechanic of the body.
So I love you guys. I think we're done. Have a good week. Let's keep the flow going. And Saturday is gonna be awesome. And hit us up if you need any help or support or whatever. Love you guys.
Cool. Thank you, everyone.
So love.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.